Welcome to Against the Spread. The college football playoff rankings are out now. Yeah.
Hey, let me do it that time. Oh, hold on.
Now,
Which one of you played Munster?
all I've got to say,
I didn't think about me doing it.
the kitty did it with us. Now all I got to say is, here's my thing. Here's my one moment. Your timing is not God's timing. God's timing operates differently than we do. If you think that something isn't working out for you, it's probably because God wants you to sit there and get closer to Him. Because there's always someone there to get you out of whatever pit you are in life. If you're in the pit,
Amen.
then that might be a season that you're supposed to be there because God might be using it to build His relationship that you're supposed to have with Him. That is my words for today. And now,
Jesus loves you. Now
what we're going to
football.
talk about is what happened last week first. What happened last week is that I got to boo Hugh Freeze off of the field because that guy is a bum.
Hugh Freeze race segment. Let's go.
He's terrible. I don't like him. He's a horrible offensive play caller. At least he can recruit. But holy crap, when you decide that, let's go get a quarterback. Yeah, Jackson Arnold's my favorite. Let's go get him. Oh, now he sucks. So let's start the guy that lost to San Jose State. Great idea.
Do you guys not have Deuce Knott on your roster?
Deuce Knight is on the roster. The only problem is, how bad do you have to be to not even be considered when your other two quarterbacks are Jackson Arnold and Ashton Daniels?
Well, you should start Deuce Knott. I don't know why we're not starting George McIntyre. So
Deuce Knight is not
that's
starting this week either. It's Ashton Daniels again.
Who do y'all play?
Vanderbilt.
Take you over on Auburn.
But anyway, Hugh Freeze is terrible, and he is gone finally. We have killed the problem, and now we have to hire somebody. And right now Kenny Dillingham is the current leader. So we'll see how that goes.
Welcome to Auburn, James Franklin.
I would really. You know what's hilarious? James Franklin's not even being considered. So Kenny Dillingham's the current leader for the Auburn head coaching spot. But anyway,
I'll coach him.
I hate you for you probably do better than Fears did. You have no experience at all, not even coordinator. But I'm really interested.
I have experience in college football 26.
Yeah, you're right.
I have 7 national championships.
I'm interested to see what happens this week with DJ Durkin as the interim coach and Derek Nix calling the plays because Derek Nix didn't call the plays at all, and Hugh Freeze did. So now we're going to find out how good the offense actually can be when someone different is calling plays. So that is why I got to boo Hugh Freeze off the field. It was great. That was the highlight of my night, was the fact that I stayed there the entire game only because I wanted to boo him off the field and watch him walk off for the last time in his career. And he did. And he got fired that night, immediately.
Well, the low light of your life was you had to go and watch Kentucky football. So I apologize in advance.
I watch Auburn football. That might be worse.
The fact that the final was 10-3 was nuts to me.
It was so bad.
You know what? OSU put up over 20.
That was the worst game in existence. But, at least...
What's crazy is Auburn has not allowed more than 24 points all season, and they suck.
And they're one of 3 teams to do it, and the other 2 are number 1 and number 2. So...
which one's the Auburn sucks sound?
It's called facts. I added that and I named it facts for a reason.
It's true. It's true. It's so bad.
They're good at basketball, I guess.
In other news, the college football playoff ranking came out yesterday, last night at 7:45. That is Tuesday night.
Texas shouldn't be that
The
high.
rank. Shut
I'm
up. We'll
gonna
get
go ahead
there
and say
later. Be quiet.
it.
The rankings
I think they got
are
6 and 7, right?
as follows: Ohio State, Indiana, A&M, Bama, Georgia, Ole Miss, BYU, Texas Tech, Oregon, Notre Dame, Texas, Oklahoma, Utah, Virginia, Louisville, Vandy, Georgia Tech, Miami, USC, Iowa, Michigan, Missouri, Washington, Pittsburgh, Tennessee. Tennessee is the only three-loss team in the rankings. And to compare it to the AP poll, Pittsburgh is not ranked in AP. Iowa is not ranked in the AP, but they are in the college football playoff top 25. If the
People
season
suck.
if the season ended today, the playoffs would be Ohio State, Indiana, A&M, and Alabama with a bye. Georgia would host Memphis. Ole Miss would host Virginia. BYU would host Notre Dame, and Texas Tech would host Oregon. Winner of Tech and Oregon would play Bama. Winner of BYU and Notre Dame would play Indiana. Winner of the Ole Miss Virginia game would play Texas A&M, and the winner of Georgia and Memphis would play Ohio State. That is how the playoffs would be if the season ended today. Now we can open the floor to your complaints because there are plenty of them.
So
The playoff. This is okay. I'm going to open with this. The playoff committee said we're going to value strength of schedule and common opponents and who teams have played against, and that's how we're going to rank teams. Whenever they have, let's think Oregon at number 9 when their best win right now is Northwestern. But Louisville, who has played 3 ranked teams and are 2-1 against those 3 ranked teams, is number 15.
isn't
But
Texas
yes,
number 11?
let's factor in strength of schedule. But let's put Oregon 7 spots. No, not even 7. That's 11 spots. No, it's not. I lied. It is 7. I was correct. No, 6. I can't math. I was a journalism major. Anyway,
Mm.
6 spots above Louisville when Oregon's best win is Northwestern, and their only ranked game so far is Indiana, and that's it.
Why is Texas number 11?
Because they are 7-2 with this 3-point loss to the number 1 team in the country.
Are we
But they
slandering
lost
Oregon
to
right now?
unranked Florida.
Are we slandering Oregon right now?
Yes, they have a
Slandering
loss.
Texas
Yes, they have a loss.
right now.
Yes, they have a loss to unranked Florida. Yes, they have looked terrible in almost every game. But you can't deny the fact that they are 7-2 with a dominating win over Oklahoma and Vanderbilt. So,
You don't get to be ranked after losing to Florida.
I don't
And
care.
when
I
we
just
lose
hate
to
them.
Florida, I'll call for us to get unranked. Okay? I'm just saying that is racist and hateful. That will not stand for my people being destroyed like that. Horns down, get hooked horns. Go Lions. The real Lions. Go Vols.
You know who should be ranked? Shout Alabama. No, I'm kidding.
Their bar still follows me.
Their Barstool account follows you.
Yeah. Them and Liberty for some reason. Don't ask me why, but
They're eliminated from postseason contention. It's so freaking. Look at
Barstool
Taylor.
Tennessee doesn't follow me, but Barstool South Alabama
as you
does.
can tell, that's just how I feel about that stupid school in Mobile that you just decided to mention. They were eliminated as soon as they stepped on a football field. Anyway,
Wendy sucks. Three.
okay, Holton,
No.
you want to slander? Who are we slandering first in the rankings? based on the
Oh, so
list
are we
going
going in
down.
order?
I can take
Yes,
it. I can take
We're
it.
going in order. The top four is
is
fair.
perfect. The top four is the only
It's
thing that is
perfect.
perfect.
I'm gonna
I was
say
gonna say,
one
don't
thing.
touch the top four.
I'm gonna say one thing. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm not saying they're bad because I was wrong. I said they're not a good football team and they're not gonna be ranked as long this season. I said Indiana's not a bad team.
They should be
However,
number
Indiana's
one.
Ohio
fine.
State is
Not at all.
Indiana's not the number one team. Is Ohio State, and I stand on that.
Yes, but Indiana, if they're basing it off strength of schedule and wins and stuff, because that's what they said they were going to do this year, then Indiana should be number one right now. But
So the top two, they rejected it. They're the favorites to compete in the Big Ten championship, which would actually be a great game. Actually,
mhm.
Texas A&M is a really surprise because me and Timmy said they would go 8-4 this season.
They still have a
Is not
shot to do
looking
it.
well.
They can still go 8 and
We
4.
still a shot to do it. Sanford's beating them. I'm calling it. Sanford's beating them. We'll look back at it in a couple of weeks. Alabama has jumped up, and because they lost to whoever that team is called down in Florida somewhere. I
FAU.
forgot their. I don't know who that team is, but anyway, they lost to a team in Florida who sucks. That loss was horrible, but they were at 21 in AP poll at one point. They have climbed the way back up. They're on a 7-game win streak. Georgia should not be 5.
Facts.
Correct. But the only issue is who you put at 5.
Yeah, that's the problem because Georgia beat Ole Miss.
And BYU hasn't played
10-8.
anybody other than Utah.
BYU is undefeated. That's the only other case you can make. So
But you knew when I said that.
Georgia in the playoff rankings, I just don't think they're good as a 5 seed. Number
They shouldn't
6,
be as high as
Ole
they
Miss.
are.
Number 6, Ole Miss, and number 7, BYU, and number 8, Texas Tech. Those are fair rankings, in my opinion.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think Ole Miss is that good.
They are pretty good.
They struggled against Washington State,
That was
and they
because
collapsed against Georgia.
it's
They
because they were
played the best
focused
team.
on Georgia in the Washington
They played
State.
Didn't
the best
y'all
team in the
struggle
pack.
against Mississippi State? No, it was Arkansas.
Listen, I didn't say we were good.
Oh,
Pipe
yeah,
down,
fair.
buddy.
Now
Don't speak ill
we get to
of
number 9, Oregon. I pulled it up. I pulled their schedule up because Oregon has one ranked win. That was against Penn State, and Penn State is no longer ranked. Penn State is complete trash. They have lost by double-digit points at home. They hosted Indiana. They lost by double-digit points, and as Taylor said, their best win is against a 5-3 Northwestern team.
Yep.
Oregon
How
has a
many
chance to prove
national championships is Oregon
Joshua,
have?
why you gotta ruin Joshua? Why you gotta ruin it, Joshua? Oregon has a chance to prove themselves against Iowa, who is 20 in the college football playoff
No,
rankings.
definitely a chance this weekend. Which we'll talk about that game later because that's on my list.
They also, and later on through the season, they host USC and they go to Washington.
Yep.
And they are both currently ranked in the playoff rankings.
Yep.
Who's number 10? Notre Dame.
Good.
Notre Dame has.
I like it.
Notre Dame has. I like Notre Dame. Okay. They started 0-2 in the season. They have a combined they have lost a combined of 4 points, if I remember correctly.
3 to Miami and 1 to A&M, and that's it.
So that's a fair ranking.
Yep.
They lost by 4 points. Really, they don't play a lot of good teams except they have like a deal with the ACC
well, they
teams.
Clobbered USC, so there is that.
That too. You can say all about their schedule, but this is fair. Number 11. Who's number 11? Oh, Virginia. Virginia is actually a surprise.
Texas is 11.
I'm going off the bracket. My bad.
You went. Okay. So Virginia's 11 in the bracket because they are the current ACC leader at number 14 in the country. So you
Okay,
want
so 11. I'm going back to actual rankings. I'm not looking at the bracket no more.
11's Texas.
Texas. I don't know why they're 11. I really don't. Texas is not good. I don't care if you beat a ranked Vanderbilt team and
You smoked OU.
ranked, and you smoked OU.
And you
I'm getting to
basically made Vandy your child for 3 straight quarters until you allowed them to come back.
It's not hard, Taylor. It's not hard.
I mean,
uh,
so I understand why they're ranking them that high because Texas might be the most quiet 7-2 team in the country this year. When you look at how bad they are this year, you're like, they gotta have like 4 losses by now, like because of how bad they've been playing. They're 7-2. You wouldn't think
they have
that.
the chance. I'm just saying, Texas has a chance to prove themselves against Georgia. This is the test right here.
They have Georgia and A&M.
This is
They're gonna freaking
Georgia.
smoke
I'm saying Georgia. I'm getting to A&M. Yes, A&M as well. I'm saying Georgia because it's at Georgia.
Correct.
It's a road game at night in Athens, Georgia.
I'm going ahead and tell you, Arch Manning has found his swagger, and he's found it at the perfect time. And it's to end the season. He has thrown for 300 yards in 3 straight games.
So really,
congratulations. He's doing something most quarterbacks have done all year.
Oh, congratulations. It's his first season as a starter.
I know. I'm just giving him crap because he plays for Texas.
So really, I'm getting to Oklahoma too.
They stink.
Oklahoma got it. Oklahoma is. I think they're overrated.
Their defense is great.
Their defense is the reason why they beat Tennessee.
Correct.
If the takeaways didn't happen, Tennessee wins that game.
If our kicker can make a field goal, we win that game.
Breaking news.
And
If Tennessee plays less stupid, they win football game.
That's not how that works.
Still will lose to Alabama.
So Texas and Oklahoma have a chance
Oh, you stink.
to even beat.
Okay.
They have the chance to do the unthinkable of beating these next ranked games. So,
Get hooked horns.
who's next? Number 13, Utah fair, Virginia fair,
I like
Louisville.
UVA.
Skipped Oklahoma.
No, we talked about them. UVA. I said OU sucks. Utah. I like them at 13. That's a really good ranking for them because the AP poll only has them at 17. Virginia is at 14, which is lower than the AP poll at 12. I think they should be lower than 14, if I'm being honest with you. The only reason they're ranked above Louisville was because they beat Louisville. If they didn't have that win over Louisville, then they would. But they have squeaked by. They have squeaked by so many games.
Yeah, if Louisville beats them, Virginia is probably looking at like in the top 20 of the playoff rankings if they continue to win out.
I think Phil's got it. Louisville was my playoff dark horse to begin the year. And right now they are looking like they could. So
it's interesting that Virginia is at the playoffs in it today. That Virginia would be the ACC champion at the playoffs in it today, based on ACC standings.
Correct. You would also
the ACC.
If the playoffs
I'm saying the ACC,
mm-hmm.
the Big 12, and the SEC are so wide open right now.
It's ridiculous.
Like chaos can happen in a couple weeks.
If the playoffs started today, there would be 3 Big 10 teams, 4 SEC teams, 2 Big 12 teams, an FBS independent, and 1 ACC and 1 American.
Okay, after Louisville, Vanderbilt. I don't
mind that spot for them.
I don't have much to say about Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's about to collapse.
I don't mind that.
I think Timmy agrees with me.
But they'll probably go like 8.
Georgia Tech, they're not a bad football team. However, the unranked loss to NC State.
It's hilarious. They drop GT that far for an unranked loss, but then they don't punish the other teams above them that also have an unranked loss. And it's hilarious.
What people aren't realizing about NC State is NC State's not a bad football team. They're not a great football team. They're a sneaky good football team. I mean, they're what?
Guess who
5-2 or
Virginia's
5
only
and
loss
7.
is that they're not being punished for?
NC State.
North Carolina State.
Georgia Tech shouldn't be punished for NC State. I'll drop
Guess
them
who?
more
Guess
for
who else above them has an unranked loss? Texas. Guess who else has an
Texas also a
unranked? Guess who
basketball.
else has an unranked loss? Texas Tech.
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. Yet they dropped Georgia Tech out of the top 10, even out of the top 15 to 17.
Utah lost to BYU and who
Yes,
else?
Georgia Tech's schedule is
Texas Tech.
kind of bad. So
Oh
that's
yeah.
probably why they're ranked as low as they are. But to punish them that bad for an unranked loss when you haven't punished the other teams above them is something else.
We don't get punished for ranked losses because we beat the unranked teams. It's the ranked teams we can't beat.
Miami at 18.
They suck.
Two losses now.
Should not be.
Louisville
Should
and
not be ranked
SMU.
18.
I think they should be bottom
Should not
20
be.
or bottom 6 and only in top 20. USC 19. USC sneaky.
Sneaky bad.
They're good. Their defense
I'm
is
a hater.
terrible, but their
Hater today.
offense, Jaden Mavia, their quarterback, really good. Iowa 20. The committee sees something the AP poll does not. I like that ranking because Iowa has been very sneaky good this year. Their defense, always outstanding. Their special teams, pretty good. What's funny is their quarterback, Mark Gronowski.
Mark Gronkowski.
Yes. He is very good. Gronowski, I mean, he only has 946 passing yards and 4 passing touchdowns, but guess what? He has 11 rushing touchdowns, which means he comes from South Dakota State, by the way. This is a South Dakota State transfer. He has 11 rushing touchdowns. He has more rushing touchdowns than 13 FBS teams by himself.
Is he in the Heisman conversation?
No, because his passing yards are terrible. But he has 11 rushing touchdowns, which, for example, is more rushing touchdowns than the entire team of Alabama has. So that's why I was number 20.
Victor Wembanyama sucks.
This was a surprise in the ranking because, like you said, they're not ranked in the AP poll, but I like it.
Michigan 21.
Okay, Michigan is the most overrated team in the Big Ten. I said that. I stand on that.
They can literally.
I agree.
They control their own They control their own destiny right now.
They're the most overrated team. I stand by that.
Still copy Delaware with a helmet.
They control their own destiny right now because if they go 10-2 with a win over Ohio State, then the committee's got to consider them, and that's the problem.
Well, I'll tell you who I think is the most overrated team in the Big Ten. Without any bias, it's got to be UCLA.
No, UCLA sucks. So
UCLA's 3-5 right now, which is kind of hilarious.
yeah, they started at 0-5, I think.
0-4.
Yeah, 0-4.
And here's what's even funnier. If Michigan goes 10-2 with a win over Ohio State, then the committee has to consider them because they would have one loss in the Big Ten, and they would be playing in the Big Ten championship versus Indiana. Michigan is 5-1 in Big Ten play. I don't think you realize that.
Still suck.
Let's look at their schedule. Besides Ohio State.
Are they stealing signs again?
They have 2 away games.
They
have 2 away games, and then Ohio State at home.
Back to the Iowa.
They can lose those 3 games. It's possible because they struggle with Purdue.
They're still going to find a way to win. The only game I really see them possibly losing is this weekend. If they beat Northwestern, then they got a shot. And if they go
or
10-2 and make the Big Ten championship, then there's a pretty decent chance that they are considered for an at-large playoff spot if they lose that Big Ten championship.
well, you got to think if
Michigan can play
everything well,
spoiler, so there is
uh,
that.
we could get
Coffee
something like
Delaware.
last year. We had 3 1-loss teams and a couple 2-loss teams in the Big Ten, and it comes down to tiebreaker. Michigan don't get the playoffs because they lost the tiebreaker.
Yeah, but they're third in the Big Ten right now behind Ohio State. If they beat OSU, they jump them. So there is that.
Oh, speaking of, I want to point out something. People are forgetting how close Iowa played Indiana, and Indiana's blowing everybody else out of the water. Teams not named Iowa or Old Dominion.
Correct.
So they should put some respect on the
Correct.
Hawkeyes name.
Missouri at 22 is hilarious considering their quarterback's injured for the rest of the year. They're not going to be ranked to end it anyway. Washington at 23.
I think they'll have a good chance.
I like Washington being ranked because they actually are pretty good, and having them that low makes sense considering their only good wins over Michigan. Or they didn't beat Michigan; they beat Illinois.
Here's another thing to point out. When Ohio State played Washington, Washington was undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
And the first couple quarters, Ohio State was struggling offensively. I think they were struggling a lot offensively in the first half. I think it was really 6-0 that was their Washington's biggest lead against them. Their only really lead against them. So Ohio State and Michigan really didn't beat Washington that bad. It wasn't close, but it wasn't really a beatdown. So, and Washington is really not a bad team in the Big Ten.
Talking about Pitt. Pitt at 24. They're 7-2. They're 5-1 in the ACC.
I think Pitt at 22 or 24 is interesting.
24 is good for them. But their 2 losses are an overtime loss at West Virginia and then a loss to Louisville by 7. They beat Boston College 48-7. They beat Florida State 34-31. They beat Syracuse 30-13. They beat NC State 53-34, and they beat Stanford 35-20. Pitt's last 3 games of the year are Notre Dame at home, at Georgia Tech, and Miami.
If they win those games, that looks good on the resume, and they're at the shot for the ACC title game.
They would, considering right now they are third place in the ACC with Georgia Tech in front of them, and Georgia Tech still on the schedule. Another funny thing is SMU and Duke both have 1 loss in the ACC. There's 5 teams in the ACC with 1 loss, and then there's Virginia with 5-0. So the ACC has 6 teams right now.
Wide open.
6 teams.
Miami and Florida State that are dead.
There's 6 teams in the ACC that can win it right now, and it's stupid. Everything's stupid. All right, now, Timmy, I'm sorry. Why is Tennessee ranked?
Because we beat that one team that one day. We put up 72 against ETSU as well.
Tennessee should not be ranked because the 3 ranked games that they played, they're 0-3. And if the playoff committee takes into effect rankings, then they should not be ranked right now.
Mississippi State has a winning record.
The 3 ranked teams you have played, you are 0-3.
Well, they should have ranked Mississippi State so we could have had a road win. Ranked road win. It's not my fault they don't know what they're doing. Okay?
Mississippi State hasn't been that impressive in conference play, to be honest.
Basically, if Bama and Texas A&M win this weekend, Tennessee has no shot to make the SEC championship.
They're not going to make it in.
They
already have no shot.
Shut up. They have
There
no
is
shot.
a chance. There is a chance. I'm saying it's 1%. That's it.
I will tell y'all that y'all are a bunch of haters. Whenever I went and I picked Oklahoma to win, y'all said, "You're crazy, Timmy. Oklahoma ain't gonna beat USC. You're insane." I was right.
I said OU.
I don't care. It don't count. I called
because
it.
Oklahoma. Because don't think Oklahoma's that good.
But
Well, I don't think.
that's the rankings.
44 to 41 against Georgia in overtime. 37-20 against Alabama. 33 to 27 against Oklahoma.
Tennessee should
Y'all should
not.
not be
I don't
ranked.
think Tennessee should
We
be
should have
ranked.
beat Georgia.
Anyway, that's the playoff rankings. Memphis is the 12th seed currently in the playoffs while being unranked. That's what's stupid because of all the people that are above them based on name and name alone, which is why Tennessee should not be ranked
Well,
at the moment.
Tennessee's the best team in the state. Tennessee is the best team in the state. There's only two good teams in the state of Tennessee: East Tennessee State and University of Tennessee. Everybody else can suck my big old thumb.
They're
Vanderbilt would like to have a chat.
going to
I
have a
like having a
chat.
chat with Vanderbilt too.
They're
I'm
going
gonna
to
come
have
out
a
with a
chat at the
bike
end of the
lane.
year.
Vanderbilt is
All
about to
right.
collapse.
Welcome. That was our spiel on rankings. Rankings, they're weird every week. That was the first playoff ranking, though. The Vandy got their very first
Right.
ever playoff ranking at number 16, and Texas Tech got their very first ever playoff ranking at number 8.
You forgot to
So
mention last for Vanderbilt, last ever too.
that's the very first time either one of them did. And now we can go into this weekend with Oregon and Iowa, which we already kind of touched on. So Gronowski, their quarterback, he's really good for Iowa. Iowa's defense is really good. Oregon's got to go to Kinnick Stadium. Dante Moore hadn't looked good. Like he's looked okay. This would be Oregon's chance to really kind of prove themselves. Oregon's favored by 6.5. It's a 2:30 game. This would be Iowa's chance to really see if they can, beat a high level team. They're kind of like just that hang around middle of the pack Big Ten team all the time. Will they hand Oregon a loss, or will the Ducks win the Bird War?
Bird.
I'm okay with y'all
So
talking now.
So, like you said, both these two teams need to prove themselves. Like Oregon, it was mentioned in the ranking show. Like they're at 9 and at the season end. They're the ninth seed. At the season ended today. They beat a ranked Penn State team when they were 3. However, Penn State's not ranked no more, and they lost by double digits at home to Indiana. And Indiana is the number 2 team in the country in the playoff rankings.
Mm-hmm.
So this would be a good, like I said, in a couple weeks, Oregon plays 2 other ranked teams who are in the playoff rankings right now. So if they can win these next 3 games, but it starts with this one first, this would look good on their resume. And it's the same thing for Iowa. I don't know Iowa's rest of the schedule besides that for Oregon,
Nebraska's on
but
there.
Nebraska's also that will be a good like for them. And then they also play Iowa also plays USC. So Iowa really needs to win those 2 games to boost their resume and possibly a shot at a large bid or even the Big Ten title. I don't. They have 2 conference losses, correct?
Yes.
No, they lost to Iowa. They lost to Iowa State. Never mind.
No, I see they have
Lost to
one
Iowa
loss.
State.
Dog.
So,
What the
Woof.
dog doing?
Woof.
but
Dog.
you said it was at Kinnick Stadium. Kinnick Stadium is
No.
one of the hardest places to play in college football. The Iowa crowd is ridiculous.
They're fun.
This is probably going to be a close game. Iowa's defense is really good. Iowa only lost by 5 to Indiana, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Indiana's been really blowing out a lot of teams. So that's all I really got to say.
Make your picks. Iowa or Oregon this weekend.
I think Iowa wins. I'm not gonna lie. I think. Oh no, wait. Title something up. I think Iowa wins. Iowa kept it close with Indiana earlier this year, like I said. Oregon's played questionable against Rutgers and another bad team. I can't remember who it was. I think Iowa is back in their 2015 form, where they go to the Big Ten championship game and play the fourth ranked team and lose.
I'm going to have to agree with Timmy on this. I think Iowa wins this game. You said Oregon's favorite, right?
6.5.
This would be an upset, considering based
Yes.
on ranking and spread.
Yes.
Okay, so Iowa is my upset pick of the week. I think Iowa wins this game because it's at Kinnick Stadium. That's a lot of traveling for Oregon, and Iowa's defense is really good.
Give me the Hawkeyes.
I think I was who gets this up has a solid chance to get an upset, but I don't know if Dan Lanning will allow it. So I'm gonna stick with Oregon, but close, like by 3, very close. This would be Oregon's chance to prove that they are still legit and still a competitor, and not just riding on the coattails of the team last year. Another game, rivalry game, LSU at Bama. This is 6:30 ABC. I don't know why. The only reason we're talking about this is because they wanted to. Because this isn't going to be a good game at all. LSU could die. Uh, but the only thing that's interesting about it is the fact that LSU is without a head coach, without an offensive coordinator. They're relying on their. I don't even know what coach he is, but I know he's like really really good in LSU staff. He's very trusted by the players and everything. But Bama's favored by 10.5. Bama's probably going to win by like 20. LSU stinks. They're really
Magic
bad.
Buns.
The only reason they wanted to talk about it is because Holton wanted to say something. So I'm just going to let him talk, and then we'll go to the next game after this.
Well, Ethan's not here, and he brought up a good point. Like two of the biggest brands in college football, Alabama and LSU. That was also one of the reasons why we talked about it, because nobody on earth wants to talk about Texas A&M because Texas A&M is going to blow out Missouri.
Yeah, both
Also,
these games stink.
This is a rivalry game. This is a rivalry, and my point is, I'm saying right now is number one, Bama hasn't really blown out LSU. Last time they really blown out was actually last year. But when it comes to in Tuscaloosa, last time it was not relatively close in Tuscaloosa was 2013. So it's been pretty close in Tuscaloosa. It's kind of disappointing this year because LSU started off I can't remember what in the top 10 in the AP poll at the beginning of the season. They lose to Ole Miss in a rivalry game. They lose to Vanderbilt, and they get blown out at home by Texas A&M. And they're unranked. This was a rivalry game when Nick Saban started because Nick Saban won a national championship at LSU, left for the Dolphins, then came back. Then this became the Saban Bowl. This game has its moments. It had its moments throughout when Saban was there. However, we've seen a lot of these coaches get fired this season. 25% of the SEC of head coaches have been fired, which is 4. We've seen a lot of the interim head coach win a game at some point this season, like UCLA beating Penn State or UAB's interim head coach beating Memphis. I mean, it could happen here. I just don't see it happening. I think Alabama does cover the spread. However, I wouldn't be surprised if it's a close game because LSU, they already eliminated for the playoffs, but LSU has nothing to lose.
They have nothing to lose with an interim coach
their best bet,
coming off a bye week.
Both teams are coming off the bye week. Kalen DeBoer is 15-2 on bye weeks after a bye week. So,
yep. I don't know how well this game's going to go. It kind of stinks. I think Bama's just going to murder them, but we'll find out.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if it was close, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was a blowout.
No,
it can go either way.
Best game of the week is number 7 versus number 8. BYU and Texas Tech. BYU and Texas Tech has huge implications for the Big 12 and the playoff race. Texas Tech with 1 loss in the Big 12. BYU is still undefeated. This is BYU's hardest game of the year so far. They have to go on the road to Lubbock. College game day will be there. Texas Tech, they have their starting quarterback, Baron Morton, back.
Night, Mom.
And the Red Raiders are hot. The Red Raiders are ready. And the Red Raiders are ready to prove themselves as the big dogs in the Big 12 with a win over BYU. Texas Tech's running game, it will probably scorch the BYU because BYU's running defense is terrible. Texas Tech's favored by 10.5. If you want to see how much they're favoring them right now, but I mean, College Game Day is going to be there. It's number 7 versus number 8. They're separated by 1 point in the rankings. Red Raiders and Cougars. What do y'all got? What do you think? This game's gonna be awesome. This gonna be fun.
I'm going to start first. I want to start first.
Okay.
Okay,
Go to
so
Red
I'm always
Raiders.
beef with BYU students. They always coming at me, and it's not even a religious thing. It's just they run their mouths when I say something, and I think that they have the worst student body in the country. Okay, I would take Bama students and Vanderbilt students and Kentucky students and University of Chattanooga students. I would take any of them over BYU students because I have a strong beef with the students at Brigham Young University. BYU is not a good football team. They've been fraudulent all year, and that's my rant on BYU. However, they talked about college game day, the SEC and Big Ten's rear ends. However, this is 2 games in a row that it hasn't been an SEC or Big Ten team at college game day. So, congratulations. They beat the SEC allegations. And my last take is I think that Texas Tech is a very good team, and I think they win by about 20.
They did dog walk Utah earlier this year. Texas Tech's defense is a lot better than I thought they were. So we'll see how that goes.
More Chinese food.
Anyone else?
Like I said earlier, the Big 12 is so wide open, and it really starts with this game. Both of these two teams have to, like, I'm not saying they really have to prove something, but it'll be great they can prove something. I believe these two teams are at the top of the Big 12 standings, correct?
Yes. At the moment.
BYU's number 1 in the Big 12.
Correct.
So, BYU has not BYU, I'm thinking Utah. Texas Tech only has a loss. They lost to Arizona State.
Mm-hmm.
BYU's beat a ranked team, like one ranked team, correct? That'd be Utah, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they nearly lost to Colorado, by the way.
Yeah, they nearly lost to Colorado. So, looking at BYU's schedule, but it's pretty. It's pretty. I want to say it's pretty. In the Big 12 because it's wide open right now because they got TCU and they got Cincinnati. So, really, BYU has something to prove in this game, and that's what.
This is where their schedule gets ridiculous. So
their schedule is hard. Their last game of the season is easy because it's Central Florida, but these next 3 games are going to be hard for BYU, and they have something to prove in these next 3 games.
Yep.
For Texas Tech, they started out in the preseason AP poll. I'm not surprised that they're in the top 10 of the college football rankings. But let's look at their schedule. Pulling it up right now.
Doesn't matter what their schedule is; they're just good.
Their schedule is easy after this game, so I'm saying if they lose this game, I'm not saying they're eliminated, but this would also be a boost for their resume.
They win this game, they're pretty much smooth sailing if they don't screw up.
If they win this game, they're pretty much in the spot for the Big 12 championship and making the playoffs. Their chances of the playoffs increase. And college game day is here. At least it's something different. And I like BYU because BYU, they've been hitting the Big 12 since 2023.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, at some point, it'll be a new Big 12 team that will win a Big 12 title this year.
It'll be the 6th straight different Big 12 championship winner.
And it will be really interesting if BYU does win it. Joshua, speak.
He's about to pass out.
I feel like I am. I'm not even gonna hold you. What are we talking about? I zoned out so hard.
I know. I was gonna say. I know he's about to pass out because he turned the camera off, trying to fall asleep on it.
That's true. I didn't want to fall asleep on camera.
Yeah, become the
So.
clip immediately.
I'm tired of you clip farming me. No, I'm kidding.
I'm gonna clip farm myself this week, yelling at Hugh Freeze.
Yep, that'll work.
Especially when Timmy was like, which sounds the Auburn sucks sounds?"
It's called facts.
Oh man. But anyway, interesting weekend this weekend. Really only 2 games that have a huge impact on the playoff rankings. But that usually means there's going to be some chaos because last weekend didn't have any crazy good games either. But 6 ranked teams lost last weekend. College football. It's chaos. It's crazy. We're nearing the end. There's only 4 more weeks. There's week 11, 12, 13, 14, and then we get conference championships. So we're close. We're almost there.
Army, Navy, go Bird.
And that's all I've got for this week. Thank you guys. You right here. Watch football this weekend. Watch more sports.
Auburn.
What that guy said, except the second part. The first part is correct though. That's been it. Well, this has been the football segment. Tune in tomorrow.
I'm not watching football this Saturday.
Tune in for more because we're gonna have basketball segment coming out soon this week. Also,
Basketball.
welcome to the hoops.
This is what I'm good at.
And that's been it.